Revo's here. Peace and blessings to you and your family. We got some more news I would really like to go over with you today. Seems that more stuff is coming up from this Ant-Man 3 movie. People are not happy. It says, Marvel fans are convinced Ant-Man 3's newest star is actually Reed Richards. So it says, Marvel fans suspect that Good Place's William Jackson Harper is playing Fantastic Four member Reed Richards in Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania. Marvel fans are convinced that William Jackson Harper is playing Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. The actor is perhaps best known for his role as Chidi Anagonye on NBC's The Good Place, recently joined the cast of the upcoming Marvel threequel in a mystery role. His role is said to be a closely guarded secret. The secretly surrounding his role has led many on Twitter to speculate he's been cast as Earth 616 version of Reed Richards. Mr. Fantastic in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It is important to note that Marvel Studios has declined to comment on Harper's involvement in Quantumania at this time. Although John Krasinski appeared as Reed Richards' variant in 2022's Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, both the actor and Marvel Studios have remained coy on if he will return to the official MCU version of Mr. Fantastic. While rumors have suggested that actors like Ben Bagley or Lucifer's Tom Ellis are in talks for the role, fans have also thrown out names like Always Sunny's Glenn Howerton or Legend of Tomorrow's Brandon Roof for the role. At the time of the writing, Marvel Studios has yet to announce who will play Fantastic Four in the MCU, with the roles of Reed Richards, Sue Storm / Invisible Woman, Johnny Storm or the Human Torch, and Ben Grimm, also known as The Thing, remaining unfilled. Marvel Studios' upcoming Fantastic Four film is currently scheduled to hit theaters February 4th, 2025. It's part of Phase 6 of the MCU. Here's my thoughts. I'm not surprised by this. Why am I not surprised? If you saw Loki, or you seen a trailer for Ant-Man, Kang is black. And you might not notice who Kang is. What does Kang being black got to do with Reed Richards? Kang's real name is Nathaniel Richards. He's actually Reed Richards' son from the future. So if Kang is black, right, that means at best he's biracial. Like the moment I saw him, I was like, okay. But then you see Multiverse of Madness and you're like, okay, so that means, in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, that means if they got John Krasinski playing Fantastic Four, he dabbled on his wife, or Sue Storm is going to be black. But then I started hearing that they want him and his actual real life wife, John Krasinski's wife, Emily Blunt, to be in it. And, John Krasinski, he didn't have a good outing. That people didn't like him as for Mr. Fantastic. He stood firm against Wonder Woman, and then she just proved he was, she made him to a bag of linguine spaghetti. So I wasn't surprised by this because Kang's black. And the MCU's multiverse is not like the comic multiverse. In the comic multiverse, you have changes. And you might think, oh, well, in Spider-Man, there were 3 different Spider-Man. So they couldn't have, Earth 616. So that's the main Earth that we're on. The main timeline we're following with Iron Man and with Iron Man as Robert Downey Jr., that's 616. So you might say, oh, well, they had 3 different Spider-Mans. Here's the thing, that's Sony. And Sony's trying to set up the Spider-Verse. Marvel has established so far, if you pay attention, that if you are in different universes, you are the same person. Meaning, Jack Black will look like Jack Black in any universe except for the personality's different, upbringing's different, life events are different. Multiverse of Madness, they were all Benedict Cumberbatch. Um, if you look at Emi Ujekwe, Baron Mordo, same thing. Um, and of course Scarlet Witch, same thing. It was no matter what universe, it's different ones. If you saw Loki, that Kang died. There's already been leaked. There's several Kangs here. They all look like that Kang. So that means somebody here is black. I'm not surprised. Now, of course, it opens up a bigger bag of the race swapping, and is that going to stop? And how that's being perceived, and it's happening a lot. And I just think it's being done to piss people off. Let's just call a spade a spade. You want to make black woman and black woman. You want to make Batwoman black, and the thing is they give the roles, and then it just seems like the characters or the people, they don't do well in the roles. It's half written. If he's going to be Reed Richards, and don't forget, before I lose my thought here, when Carlo Esposito wants to be, I passed it earlier in another video, he wants to be Professor X. Now, you got a bit of a conundrum because Magneto and Professor X are old. And one is probably like in his 60s. But people are like, well, they're white people. And, oh, well, you can't do that because a big major thing with Magneto is he went through Auschwitz. He's Jewish. And he was supposed to be in concentration camps. But if you think about it, most people who had that experience are either dead or like very, very old. So if you want to do something, when the X-Men first came out, if you look at how Professor X and them are set up, they're older men, but they're probably like in their like 60s or 50s, right? We're talking about in real life, we're talking about somebody going through Auschwitz, they're like in their 90s or 100s. So Patrick Stewart is actually in his 90s. And the guy that played Magneto, Ian McKellen, I think he's also in his 90s. So, man, people are going to lose it if this is the case. After you had it in a universe where John Krasinski was it, and if it is it, you already found a lot of YouTubers are like going up in arms about it because of the constant race changing, the race baiting. As I said, you want my honest opinion, they're doing this to piss people off. They're on this diversity. They're on the LGBTQ, ISRP bandwagon. And so they just throw stuff in there. And I don't want to take anything from Jonathan Majors because I think he's going to be a big actor. But a lot of the stuff that they're doing, a lot of times they just throw people in there. They don't know what they're doing. I'm going to reserve what I feel about this Reed Richards until I see Quantumania. But you got to see the writing on the wall. Marvel's formulaic. You can see what's coming. I'm surprised people are surprised by this. If you've seen Kang, you should have known there's some cocoa in that mix. So I just want to say, let me know what your comments down below. You think that he's playing? You think he's playing Reed Richards, or you think this is a swerve? Marvel is known for swerves. You know, Marvel bigged up. Oh, go watch Captain Marvel to find out how Nick Fury, who's also white swap, who's also race swapped, was a white guy. They literally made that in mind with Samuel Jackson, almost damn near like they did with the Jedi, with the prequels of Star Wars. But let me know what your thoughts is. You think he's Reed Richards or you think he's somebody else? I don't know. But let me know your comments down below. And again, this is Revos.
See you soon.